say about him, it was almost as if that was a psychological operation. So Jimmy Kimmel's boss is the father of the kid who just so happened to be asking Charlie Kirk the question that just so happened to be about trans Pow Powers. And now this story of a lone Pow Power named Tyler Robinson was dating a furry trans guy. Really? Hunter Kozak also happened to be a part of an organization. Shout out to our guy who came on and told us, Unelf America, UNLFUCK America, which is directly tied to the YouTuber, what's his name? Destiny. Look them up. UNLFUCK America. Oh boy. Somebody said Hunter Kozak was literally in the direct line of if you knew a real was coming, what you said. It's because nothing was fired in that direction. Try again, buddy. I wouldn't be anywhere near CK if I knew a bullet was coming. That's the point. I don't believe Charlie Kirk was actually hit with a 30-06 from that direction. That's the whole point. That's the whole point.
Now let us go right after the shooting.
In the meantime, they also closed the trunk to hide its contents from the spectators fleeing in the stands. 19 seconds after the shot, a Legion observed the trunk closed.
19 seconds after the shot, the trunk is closed. Excuse me? Am I the only person who finds this suspicious? So there's a shooting going on, and someone who had just opened the trunk says to themselves, while everyone is running for cover, I'm going to shut the trunk of my van. I find this extremely suspicious. Number 2, the audio. This same YouTuber took audio from the different camera angles and used it to triangulate the trajectory of the bullet.
I looked at all the clips that had a good enough quality to analyze them with the software Audacity, and then I calculated the angles, distances, and crack thumb deltas.
According to his calculations, the bullet from the top of the Losi Center could not have hit Charlie Kirk, but in fact seems to be traveling straight towards the back of the van. This analysis has been repeated by multiple people. Here's another small YouTuber, Jordan Henshaw, who performs the same calculations in a graphic simulation.
Okay, so this software is basically doing exactly what AltJace did, only it's in real time.
Okay, here's the tent where Charlie Kirk is at. Here is the van.
As I drag the little crosshairs right there, it is computing the error between predicted values and actual measured values for Charlie Kirk shot versus the van shot. Doing this in real time, and over here on the right, you can see the amount of error. And over here, this is simulating the mock cone visually in 3 dimensions. And what I'm doing is I'm waiting for the mock cone to hit the camera or the microphone. Then I say set crack, and then I wait for it to hit, then I wait for the thump sphere to hit the microphone, and I say set thump.
So according to this, someone opened the back of the van, someone shot into the back of the van from the top of the Losi Center, and then they closed the trunk. That leaves the question, what happened to Charlie Kirk? According to the audio, it is not possible for Tyler Robinson to have shot Charlie Kirk. Now, these YouTubers are speculating that the death was faked, but I think it is more sinister than that. There was way too many people who wanted to seize control of Turning Point. Number 3, Brown Shirt Man. There was a man...
Okay, so hold up. Before we move on. So this is the part of Zach, and you may address this here in a little bit, and I hope that you do, because if you don't, it'll be a disservice, and it'll just lead to more questions. You just demonstrated that earlier, according to someone else, none of this stuff is definitive. I'm not saying that this is what really happened, but some people, according to this video, viewed Charlie Kirk giving the first signal by touching his nose, which would then be followed, I believe his name is Dan Flood, muscle guy in the black shirt, to then give what appears to be a signal with the arm, and then everything took place. Right? Because Charlie Kirk sees that it's Hunter Kozak, the same Hunter Kozak that we saw what appeared to be practicing his reaction well before Charlie Kirk began answering questions. So it wasn't until that same Hunter Kozak walked up, Charlie Kirk touches his nose, which appears to be a signal. He reaches for the microphone, everything happens. You're saying that he participated in that, but it's not possible that it could have been staged? Unless you're going to go with the angle that maybe Charlie was in on it being staged, but they actually decided to take him out in the process. If you're not going to that angle, I don't understand the angle here.
And in the crowd, I'm going to call Brown Shirt Man. I want to give credit to all the internet sleuths who've been talking about this. I want to especially thank an internet sleuth named Jeff Renz for putting a lot of this information together. And also thank you to another internet sleuth, Dave from Kansas, for helping me research this. Also, I have to give credit to journalist Stu Peters, who's one of the first people to talk about Brown Shirt Man. Here is another angle of the shooting.
Do you know how many mass shooters there have been in America over the last 10 years? Counting or not counting gang violence? Great.
I am blacking out Charlie Kirk. This is the moment of the gunshot. Who is this guy? My understanding is that this is someone named Rick Cutler.
Yeah.
I have not seen this man in video of other Charlie Kirk events, so it appears that he is a new member of the security team. But if he is in security, why would he be stationed behind the barriers? Am I the only person who thinks this is suspicious? He's wearing a brown shirt. I would say he's 30 to 40 years old. He looks like a military guy. You know,
I would say he's much older than 40. I would.
You know how people in the military have a certain look? Brown Shirt Man looks like a military guy.
I agree.
Here's another close-up of the Brown Shirt Man from the event. You can see he has a unique tattoo on his arm. This person right here is Frank Turek, who's a pastor who works with TPUSA Faith.
Frank Turek.
A lot of people have been wondering why he's holding his cell phone this way.
So sad.
Frank Turek claims he was on FaceTime. This does not look like a FaceTime call to me. This looks like he is recording video footage. These are 3 angles, just so you can understand where Frank Turek is. Frank Turek is pointing his cell phone camera directly at Brown Shirt Man. So I started looking more closely at Brown Shirt Man. Something that strikes me as odd are these sunglasses. These are massive, bulky sunglasses. I realize that military men tend to like to wear large aviator-style sunglasses. But even for aviator sunglasses, these are pretty bulky. The lenses are big, the frames themselves are really bulky. I bring this up because one thing you would want in a high-profile assassination is a laser sight on your gun to make sure you do not miss the target. One thing that militaries use is infrared lasers. These are lasers that are invisible to the human eye, but can be seen when viewed through IR glasses. Now, normally, IR glasses are massive goggles. But this is something that we know DARPA has been working on. DARPA is the top secret research and development group for the US military. They've been working on something called the Envision program. These would be normal-looking sunglasses that can see IR lasers even in full sunlight. Here's what it would look like. You can see the laser sight here. So someone could aim their laser sight at Charlie Kirk's neck and no one would be able to see the laser except for the person wearing the special sunglasses. I think these sunglasses look very suspicious, and someone should inspect them. If we continue to watch Brown Shirt Man, I also find the way that he is standing very strange. Who stands this way? If you were at the front row of an event, would you stand like this? It looks like he's bracing himself with one hand on the barrier and then using his arm to steady his other hand. If we zoom into a close-up of his hand, his fingers are spread slightly apart, and it looks like something is poking through his fingers. The thing poking through his fingers is aimed in a direct line to the bullet hole in Charlie Kirk's neck. Does anyone find this suspicious? Something that assassins are known to use is called a palm pistol.
Here's the thing. It's a compelling argument, and Jack, incredible job, man. I see how you connecting this, and you're gonna tie back to the military. But here's my thing. There's been so many videos though that's so if the argument is that he was allegedly hit with a palm gun from the front angle, it's not explaining so many things, bro. Like the way Charlie went down, where's the I don't know. I'm just so confused. I'm so confused. I'm so confused. Let me